for February the 2nd, 2020. Time now is 8:27 a.m. Call the meeting to order. Need to get approval of the agenda, OCGA.
Amend the agenda to include.
Yeah, we do need to amend the agenda. I'm gonna do that right now on it. All right, so under new business, we need to add I, and this is for, what was,
We can read it when we get to it. Splits the property apart.
yeah, what's the name of the property owner? Clower is the name of the property owner. We're gonna split two tracks, one track into two. So now, can I get an approval of the agenda for OCGA 50-14-11E?
Make a motion, we accept the agenda
Second.
With the
amendment.
with the amendment.
Correct. All approve? Motion carried. Stand for the invocation. Led by Chief President.
Lord, we thank you this day, and thank you for each and every one that's here today to go through this meeting today. We ask you to give us wisdom and knowledge for our hearts and minds and fairly our neighbors.
Let's thank Brooke Grant for the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda is approval of the January 13th, 2026 regular scheduled minutes summary. Y'all had time to read over those minutes?
I'm gonna say this,
We want to have discussion after we make a motion and entertain
I can't entertain it.
can I entertain a motion to approve the prior minutes?
I make a motion.
Got a motion on the floor.
Second.
Got a second. Any discussion? Go ahead.
Yeah, so, I'm getting an agenda that I have to ask for it on Friday. And I'm not happy with it. I like to do my research. I like to read. I did not have time to read the minutes. So I can't approve them.
Okay.
I want the agenda and I want the paperwork sooner than Friday.
I'm not sure about the time limits on that. I mean, we have an explanation. I can't give her one.
You want an explanation from me?
No, just on if it can be done on any
We sent it
earlier
on
than
Friday.
Friday.
We sent it at the end of the day.
Can we get it any earlier than the Friday before the meetings? I think was her concern issue.
How much, what do you want them at 8 o'clock in the morning? Do you want them to tell us?
I'd just like to have more of just the weekend to look at them. I was on the Pike County Appeals Board for almost 20 years, and I had that packet, I called it the packet, at least a good week or two before the meeting.
Wow, that's gonna be a problem because these meetings run on a 2-week schedule.
Okay,
So if we send something a week ahead, you're gonna find out at the next meeting because you're only gonna have a week's worth of work on there. So this is a makeup meeting from back. in
right, I know
January.
this is.
So we haven't even gotten in, we don't even have a schedule set yet.
Well,
All
here,
right.
can I say something? Greg, I'm just asking. I'm new to this and I'm trying, and I'm in agreement for her because I work and I do need some time to start looking into this and get acquainted to everything. But some of these bigger counties only have one meeting a month. Is there any way we could get an agenda by close of business on Wednesday? That way it'll at least give us 2 days to go and travel and look at some of these properties and all in question because, I mean, I get home, I leave my house at 4:20 in the mornings and I get home at 6 o'clock. So it leaves me 2 days to play catch up at home. And I would like some time. I know we tabled one piece of property. I've only been able to look at it online, but I feel like if we're going to sit and make choices for people, we should have the ability and some time frame, Greg, to go look at these properties and so forth and so on and have questions about that.
Would Wednesday be enough time for both of
It
y'all?
would be better.
It would be better.
Can you accommodate that?
Yeah, that'll only be 2 days worth of work on the next agenda though.
Do we need a
2
motion?
days. I mean,
Tuesday and Wednesday. So when we stop an agenda, then nothing else can be added to it. That's why we had to amend the agenda.
Should we consider going,
Y'all forward, but I'm just telling you, we have to stop. A lot of stuff comes in during the week.
Can I ask a question?
yes.
Why y'all meet every 2 weeks?
You need a motion.
Oh, sure.
Well,
Yeah.
so,
You don't have public interaction during your
Okay.
discussion unless there's a motion by the board.
gotcha, we're good. So,
that question's gonna get asked anyway.
So let's go back to the agenda, Greg, and you tell me. So if we do this on a 2-week thing, you're saying it's 2 days. So if we have a meeting on February I think it's
10th.
The 10th.
We scheduled for.
Okay, that's correct. So if you sent the agenda for the February 10th meeting on a Wednesday, you're only losing 2 days of agenda business that could be brought up at the following meeting. So you would actually have the whole prior week plus the 3 days before you set that
I
agenda.
understand that. I don't disagree with that at all.
So, but you're saying that you have only 2 days of,
Well, the next
February
meeting,
10th is a week from Wednesday.
understand, but he's got prior after this meeting,
2 days.
starting once we have not the makeup meeting, but you have a 2-week interval.
right?
So that would give him 8 business days to set an agenda for the following meeting. Those 2 days from Thursday, Friday and Monday of the or Thursday and Friday could be pushed to the next meeting of the month or the next month. Because there's no way, if you don't live in Pike County, that you can do your homework and make adequate choices to get out to see these properties.
So you're going to inspect the properties?
If
That's
Some
what
of
you're
this,
saying?
some of this I want
I
to ride
would.
by and look at because I want to make an honest decision based on what I see.
But can I interject? I wanna
Yes.
ask something. Our bylaws, do we have our, bi-weekly, meetings in our bylaws?
That's been like this since I came to work here.
Yeah.
But is it in the bylaws?
I don't know, I can't recall. That's what I'm wondering. Do we have to amend the bylaws if we want to amend it to one meeting a month? Because there's always there's always room for change. Would it make sense to go to one? Would it put more workload on y'all for prior meeting
It just
prep?
makes for longer meetings. That's all it does. It's just because
To what?
you wait.
To once a month?
Once a month, my opinion, it'll be heavy, a heavy load, and it'll be more time
Well, how did these
consuming.
bigger counties do one meeting?
Yeah, you might
I
just
think
need to get more
I've
efficient.
I hadn't done the research, but I've reached out to the rest of the counties. Most counties do 2 meetings except Spalding County. They do once a month.
Fayette does once.
Huh?
Fayette does one.
Well, I just did
Yeah.
these surrounding counties
Yeah.
like Meriwether, Upson, Lamar, you know.
I mean, here, we're not discussing number of meetings a month right now. We're discussing,
Right.
can we get the agenda for the meetings by close of business on Wednesday for the next meeting? That's all we're asking, I
Yes.
believe, to give
Yes.
time. Okay.
We need a motion for that, don't we?
You have a motion on the floor.
Right.
Any other members? I mean, what is y'all's take on this? That if you get it, it gives you time to research.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in agreement with, getting it
Yeah,
sooner,
when's good
if
for
that,
me?
if that can be
The office can
accommodated.
accommodate.
So, is that it on that? Anybody got any further discussion on the approval of the, regular scheduled meeting of January the 13th? Let's take it to a vote. All in favor?
I did not vote.
Same time.
Hey, you gotta do the same sign to oppose.
all opposed.
We will not approve the minutes, correct?
Yeah, we got 3-1. All right, public comment. We
Now you
move
can
on.
make your motion.
Pardon me? We did.
made a motion on the
I'm so confused now with all
minutes. You had
this.
a motion on the floor to approve the minutes from January 13th.
Right.
You did not have a motion on the floor.
Oh, to approve the amended agenda.
By Wednesday.
Oh, we need
No,
that?
that's what I thought we were voting on.
We're voting on
Oh,
the
I
minutes.
apologize.
Yeah.
In the minute.
No,
I'm
we're
not voting.
discussing, do we need that in a
I'm
motion?
confused too.
Yes.
That's a policy.
So,
All
so
right.
what is the first motion we're voting on, Parrish?
You already voted.
We
the
already
motion to
voted on
approve
approval
minutes
of the,
from January 13th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Okay.
voted yes on that.
Mm-hmm.
No, you didn't.
No, you
No,
voted
you
no.
voted no on the minutes.
didn't
you
have time to
voted. You
research.
didn't have time to research it.
Right.
That was the purpose of the discussion.
So if you want to change when the agenda's due, you need to have a motion.
And that's just as a directive then? I mean, so we want to
It's a
make,
policy, and you guys, without
Okay.
a motion, you're not setting.
so we're setting policy to make it required. Okay, so can I entertain a motion to have the chief, the tax assessor staff prepare the minutes on when?
Close of business Wednesday.
Close of business Wednesday prior to the regular scheduled meeting, is that correct?
Yes.
Hang on just 1 second. So is that everything, you want everything ahead of time, including the minutes? Because the packet is everything on this table right here. Not just those minutes.
Yeah, I would say that everything that's going to be
Everything
conducted,
scanned by
that's going to
5
be
o'clock
conducted,
or 4.
yep, anything that's going to be conducted on, for business for that next regular scheduled meeting, if it's not in that, done by the close of day, it goes on the next
Correct.
regular scheduled meeting.
That's fine.
So can I entertain a motion
I'll
accordingly?
make a motion.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. So we'll start receiving our minutes packet
Thank you.
by the close of business Wednesday afternoon prior to the next regular scheduled meeting. Okay, now we're going to move on to public comment. Number 6. Anybody out there?
I have a question.
Announce your name, please, sir. We're on.
David Paulson.
Okay.
Citizen, not on the board. Make that clear. I come to these meetings, and how would I get on the list for everything that is public? As Brett said, he doesn't live here, so he doesn't have time. Well, I'm retired. I got all kinds of time. I got more time than I know what to do with. So if I could get the ones that are part of the public, I got no problem going out there and looking at it. I'd like to go out there and look at it and see what you're doing. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just asking.
I mean, and when I interject, when you say things that we're doing, you're referring to like this piece of property that we're amended the agenda today for to split the property up from 9 to 2 tracks, that kind of thing.
Whatever you're giving out that's available to the public, like an open record request. Now, I don't want the stuff that's not open record, like you have one for the non-disclosure order. Obviously, I can't have that.
Correct.
But the stuff that is open to the public that I can make an open record request on, I'd like to get it. I go out there and look at these properties and look at what you're doing behind the, that's not actually, that y'all get to look at and then make a decision on.
I'm going to refer what specificities of packet you can receive to the county attorney there.
I figured that was.
The agenda package is supposed to be published anyway, so it's made available.
Via email or via the website.
How do y'all get it?
We get it via email.
So if I give you my email, 4 or 5 of them, because I got like 5 of them, instead of all of them, or just one.
Rob, where do they publish it? Can you go to the Pike County government website to get it? Is it that
Oh, you
Okay.
can.
On the county side.
on the county side? Yes.
So you're gonna have to have it uploaded to the website,
I close the day Wednesday.
available to the public.
Correct.
Well, I don't know that it needs to be, I'm not sure that our motion entertained the thought of posting it by the end of the business day.
Just have public comment.
I'm just saying, I don't think that if they get it posted to the website, what would be a reasonable time for you to get it posted to the website? The day you send it to us, I guess, you post it to the site.
If it's gonna be by the end of the close of the business day on Wednesday, it probably would not be.
That would be fine.
So the following day, so like on a Thursday.
Okay. I just need somebody to show me exactly where this is. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and I appreciate it.
Any other public comment? All right, we'll move on to the line item 7, which is invited guests. We got Joe Norman from Norman Appraisals. And we're supposed to have a Ronnie Milner with a 2015 Honda Accord. So let's let Joe go ahead.
All right, good morning, everyone. We have been in the process of updating your commercial schedules. We have visited every commercial property and industrial property in the county. Right now, if y'all want to get into any specifics, the commercial digest is up 30%.
30%.
Right now, that is around $40 million of increased value on the commercial industrial side. Tom has about a week's left. The reason I didn't bring y'all a report because he still has some data entry left to do, so those numbers will change a tad bit. So he should be through getting the data entry in this week. He has to go back out to Yancey to take a couple more photos. I've got to meet with McElroy on the plaza to get some income stuff.
So that 40 million doesn't include that. Yeah.
Well, now that it was already on the books, so I don't know how much higher it's going to go.
Based on the books.
Income, if they don't want to go along with the cost and market approach that we used to begin with, we have to meet with them and get income.
And that's full disclosure. Yeah.
If they do not want to go with our value,
Right.
so they don't have to turn anything over.
Right.
Which means I'm going to do a market income approach on it anyway. And if it goes to a board hearing, they're going to ask why they didn't turn over their income, and then it goes from there. So,
Because what I've heard in like situations is when we do the market approach, that there are no other pieces of property in Pike County to do a market comparison, but you go outside of the county to get your market comparison.
Really, we cannot. If you want to use it as far as a comp in hearings, you need to use inside Pike County comps. When I'm developing a schedule, yeah, I'll use outside sales and cost schedules.
So I got a question for you. Say a brand new property owner that builds a nice piece of property that doesn't want to provide income, but there are no comparables.
Right.
Do they still make out better because they're not providing the data that is necessary for us to properly incur our taxes?
Yeah, it hurts them if they go on in front of a judge or in front of a hearing officer or something, because they'll ask them, did you turn over your income? We have to request this information beforehand. More times than not, if they will turn over their income and their expense report, profit and loss report to us, they end up coming out a little bit better. Because you count property taxes as expenses, any kind of remodeling that somebody's done that normally on a house we would say increases the value. That's an expense on commercial property.
Correct.
So a lot of times they just will not turn that information over and got to go with cost and market approach. But I like to use all three approaches. Right. But right now, everything's based on cost and market. We haven't got any income information yet. So, but the
You
next
say
thing,
cost, you mean construction cost,
right?
cost
Yes.
to build?
What does it cost to build a convenience store brand new today, less depreciation, and what is that land worth underneath that structure? That's the next process that we have to do. So the land will come behind Tom's work. So I'm going to come behind him, run our new report, and I will not only get the new lot values or land values put in, I'll also just kind of review what he's done with the structures. But we're going to have new pictures for every commercial and industrial property out there.
But in Pike County, Georgia, we have a lot of commercial properties that reflect that.
Mhm.
No historical data on like kind quality, right?
Yes.
So Joe, I have a question also is going forward when there's rezoning, how does that get reassessed?
We have to know about it. The actually rezoning, let's say something splits out from ag and now has been rezoned commercial. I would have to know about it to hit it, but until the structures start being built on it, sometimes they just, you may go a year or two before you know that that's actually become a commercial property.
Okay.
Local knowledge always helps on stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we visited, it looks like about 400 commercial and industrial properties this year. And The next meeting, I will have a change of assessment report where you can look at every single commercial in the county and see what percentage it went up or down.
Awesome.
Awesome.
And y'all got any questions on that? I'll answer. The other thing I wanted to show y'all was how our land schedule.
How you what?
Land schedule, rural land, small acres up to our large tracts. This is just 1 acre to 20 acres right now. Once you get up to 25 acres, soil classes get involved, size adjustments. That'll be at the next meeting. I'll go
Awesome.
with that. But if y'all want to look at this right here, and this is kind of a sample. It's not set in stone yet.
Oh, you got a handout for us?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I do, Johnny. There's yours.
Sorry. And that's, the first page is 1 acre. As you keep going through, you'll see 5, 10, and on up to 20. 1A, if you look, we'll just use the front page. The highest value is going to be your 1A. This is your best location and road frontage in the county. This is all for residential, actually, right now, and ag eventually when we get to the larger tracts. So 1A is your highest price per acre, all the way down to a 7E. So that's what a 1 acre tract can range from with our schedule. So if you change it, and that's one thing that we've got to do eventually, look at every single parcel in the county, make sure the accessibility, desirability factor is correct on it.
So
Remember, we talked about that.
yes,
at
so
3C, see the highlighted kind of parts? Those are what we would consider average tracts for that, or average
Is
frontage.
this commercial and?
Just residential, just
residential.
residential.
So I do not have a copy in, well, I may. Where on the tax record is that posted?
On the property record card, it would be.
Yeah.
I don't know if that shows up on Q Public, does it?
I don't think so, but I was looking for I
If you got a property record card, I'll show you. Yeah, there you go.
I had one right there. Where does that
That's going
show
to
up?
show up right. Let me get my glasses, I'm sorry. Now, if you're in a subdivision, this doesn't affect
Yeah,
subdivision.
this is a subdivision.
Okay, so it
So
would
I
be right
just-
there, right there. See,
That's it?
OA,
Oh,
that would
okay.
say, yep,
I
that's where
got
your
you.
accessibility, desirability is
That's
right there.
Okay. All right, cool.
And that controls, like I said, you can have 35 different values for a 1 acre tract.
Yes.
We're not going to use all that, but if it's been accidentally put in that way over the years, we gotta catch those.
Yes.
So,
I understand.
and the higher, the larger the tract, the less per acre our schedule says it should be. So that's not in stone yet. That's going to change too. I just want to kind of give y'all a heads up on how it's going to work.
Okay. Thank you.
And then the cells will be plugged in. You see where I got the cell spots down there. Once we get all those, I'll have those plugged in for you too. Also, what a 3C will do to a property or 1A.
Because they ain't the same.
No, not at all.
Can I ask you a quick
Yes,
question? Are y'all able to get into the office now?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Wonderful.
We're perfect.
And it helped?
I have nothing to complain about.
Very good.
whatsoever.
Very good.
Thank you for this information.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll have the larger tracks ready for y'all. That takes a little bit longer because you got to develop 9 different soil class values
Wow.
for one track.
So is that based off topography?
It could be. Right now, it's based off road frontage. Back in the day, the rule of thumb was if you are on a federal highway, that's your highest price per acre. Nowadays, if I'm a resident, I don't want to live on a highway.
Correct.
So, to me, it's location. What part of the county is your 1A? What part of the county is nothing's going to be less than like a 4 or 5. So it's going to range from the top part of the county or the most desirable part down to the least desirable or average. It's not, least. You can have a least desirable part within a 1A part of the county too. Though. So you can have a bad lot on a bad road in a very desirable part of the county.
Right.
That
It's
makes
just
sense.
not buildable.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's just up to individuals to let us know. More.
I
That's
gotcha.
what appeals become important. You get a lot of information out of the taxpayer.
That's good to know.
All
And
right.
don't hold those numbers. That's, like I said, that's just kind of an example of how it works. It may be working out just like that,
Right.
but my sales will tell me a little bit different because I've got to back out timber and structures and everything to get a raw land value. It's not just throwing a price per acre on the property.
Yeah, you'll learn that in class, but you won't retain very much of it. The
I had
land
to.
portion of it.
I've been doing it since I was 16, so it's burned in my head.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Joe. Is that it for you?
Yeah, I think, we've started a new contract time now, so I haven't billed yet. Today's the first day I was gonna bill, so that's for the commercial. We've already finished last year's contract. So this year we've started a new contract to do the commercial, and, I'm redoing the land schedules for you as well, so. Was that brought to y'all last time, or were you waiting on me? All right. I probably need to sign it. Is it at your office? Yes. Okay, I'll go back to the office. I know you'll be here a little bit longer. I gotta run some reports, and, we need to wait till the next meeting to get that approved. That's no problem, yeah. no problem
Yeah,
at
it
all.
probably would need to be on the next agenda that we're gonna get 2 days before
Okay.
Monday.
And then I'll wait till then to turn the bill over.
This new contract you started, did it? It's the same as the last?
I didn't go up on anything. I just kept the same price per month.
We are,
I haven't approved it yet.
No, it hasn't
Okay.
gotten to the county,
got
the
the
chief
Now,
appraiser.
we've already done it, so I hope y'all approve it. And right now,
Well, it's not like it, I mean, let's be honest with the public. It's not like that hasn't been discussed amongst us all.
right. That was kind of what I said, was I wasn't.
Or our intent.
I wasn't gonna go up any more per month if y'all wanted to continue on with this, but,
Or our preference, you know.
it's 80,000 like it was, just continue from that. And, right now that 80,000 has brought the county about 400,000 in actual revenue. So.
Well, man, that's
I
hard.
think we're worth it.
That's a good deal, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, we still have to defend it. That's the hard part. Anybody can throw numbers on something. Defending it's the tough part.
Is that when our numbers start going down?
Yes. And that's why I want to meet with folks before notices go out, because I don't want to drop anything $1 million after notices have gone out. But it's going to happen because they're going to wait, and then they're going to turn their income information over. And then you have to work with it then.
It's still a benefit.
Oh, yes, sir.
100%. I think if we get the tax digest correct, then millage rates can stay lower, which will take some burden off the older people.
Yeah, like I said, just on the commercial side, those values right now, before the land has been updated, is up 30%. So that ought to help a little bit, because there's no homestead on
Correct.
commercial industrial properties.
Correct.
So they don't get any kind of benefit that the taxpayers get, or that the residential taxpayers.
Is that it? You don't have another contractor throw at us or
Am I
anything?
missing anything, Greg?
I don't think so.
I don't think I've got anything else.
All right, Joe.
All right, good to see you.
Thank you, Joe.
All right, thank you, man. We appreciate you.
All right, appreciate it.
I think it's helping us out a lot. I don't know about the rest of you.
100%.
So our intent, we would love to discuss it more next meeting, but I think our intent is to hopefully up the contract. All right, so our next invited guest is Ronnie Miller, 2015 Honda Accord. Did Ronnie Miller?
He did not.
He did not. So what kind of action do we need? What's he here to just ask
It's
questions?
about a car.
Okay.
It was about that Honda, and there wasn't any like pictures and then someone saw him riding around in the vehicle and it's running good and,
I think he had 2 Hondas now.
oh, okay.
So we don't have that on the agenda beyond invited guests, then, do we? So we're gonna move on.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
so now we go to number 8, board members report. Anybody got anything that they want to discuss? Throw at you?
I do have something I want to discuss. It was postponed the last meeting about an exemption on said property 043 059F. I have not been able to go to the property due to some underlying circumstances at home. They wanting an exemption, but there was a permit pulled, Greg, on 8/29/23 for a single family dwelling. It looks like there's no dwelling on the property from what what I can tell. Is that a true statement?
I don't know. Okay, what'd you look at?
This is the Green Street property, the Anunnaki Ministry something.
So,
Did they submit an application?
yes,
For exemption?
yes. But there's,
But
when I
because-
said about the
because-
single-family dwelling, the land value, and I know I pulled it off Q Public because I have not been able to go there.
That's last year's data, that's not the new data.
Well,
So
I know.
A lot of stuff could change.
Well, I guess my thing is the permit is 2.5 years old and it's not reflected on any of the last 5 structures. Right there. That's 25 and it still shows no. And that was there. I'm just asking, I've got to get down to your office.
I didn't realize this was on. I completely missed it. But I'm gonna accuse me for those years. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else, are you done with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Anybody else got any, all right, so I have one thing that I want to bring back for the board, and I think I'm almost positive we discussed it, and it was in the budget, is laptops. We did approve laptops, did we not, for each, the purchase of the laptops in our budget? We did not.
Computers.
Okay, well, that was a lot of wasted discussion then, wasn't it?
We got a new budget coming up.
That's what you should have done at the last meeting. That's what we're trying to do today.
What?
You gotta talk about a budget for this year.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, we ain't gonna talk about it a whole bunch, I'm gonna bring it to a motion, if it carries, we're gonna buy laptops, because I could have almost sworn it. I beat that into the ground, and I don't know where the hell it got missed, but it did, I don't understand. So, that's just something that, I don't like talking about something too much, it's either gonna be done or not gonna be done. I was under the assumption it's put in the budget, so I guess I was confused, I'll pay better attention next time. All right, so that's it for me.
I know we're still fairly new, but I would like to get a list of classes, dates, and all of that so that I can start planning. When I do class.
I would agree. I would like the dates and all the locations available so that we can meet our 180-day criteria.
Well, right now, there's only one, and that's in Tifton, and that's March 16th through the 20th. And neither one of you are in the Department of Revenues that has not been posted yet.
Okay.
So you couldn't register on your own if you tried, because you're not in the Department of Revenue system yet.
All right. How long does that normally take?
I couldn't tell
Don't
you.
know.
To be honest with you, what I will tell you is this: that information was sent to the state by Angela Blunt, the county's clerk. I have sent 2 emails to the state of Georgia, to the Department of Revenue, to Shanda Elliott. I still have somebody that used to be in the employ still on our roll, and I have repeatedly over the last month, I know I've sent them 2 emails about adding YouTube to the Department of Revenue so you can be registered, because that's a 50-person class. It's already got 31 people in it. I checked it this morning, and you're still not on there. So when I get done today, I'll make certain that I'll reach out to them again to get y'all on there so that you can get. They only post these classes 3 at a time, and the first one you're required to take is the certification for assessors. That's in Tifton.
That's March
March
16th.
16th to the 20th. But until your name gets, so both of your names get added to the Department of Revenue site, then I can't even register you for your class. There's been as a matter of fact, I have an email that they sent out Friday. Y'all can look here, give that to them. All right. Read that.
All right, so,
They're all confused up there too, to be honest with you.
so maybe that's what they were referring to. You know, I called the Department of Revenue and on some other inquiries, and this being one of them, and maybe that's what they're referring to. Funny thing is, when you get the Department of Revenue on the line, you'll start seeing, they'll start waffling a little bit, trying to be diplomatic or politically correct, and that's just the honest to God truth. I just want you to tell me what the skinny is, and don't beat around the bush, regardless of who you are. And I don't really care who you are, just tell me what I'm asking. But I sent y'all an email, so that email link or whatever, what I would start doing is just send them an email once a week, every day, until they get tired of receiving the emails. Because if they want to hold us to having the classes, then they need to have some accountability also.
Absolutely.
And they really ought to offer it more than once.
I agree.
You
Well,
know,
they
so-
do, but they do them in 3-month blocks. So they don't schedule out for the whole year.
But they have that 180-day requirement, but yet they don't get the dang class posted until a certain timeline. So here they are. But you know,
Well, there were already 2 classes before this one. One I think was the end of January and one in
Right.
February, but they were already full.
but I think what I understood also was that we're supposed to have sign-on credentials. So however that's supposed to happen, I'd like to see happen. That way you can go to that site and you may want to take a class that's not required. You may want to go and enhance your knowledge and the county's going to pay for it. You don't have to pay for it, but it benefits you and the board and the county. But I would rather have the ball in my court anyway on knowing
Yes.
and deciding.
Yes.
So however we get set up, I was still,
Okay.
after I got off the phone with that lady,
Did you talk to Shanda?
I don't think so. I'd have to look. Was that who the email was from? Shanda that I referred to y'all?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
After I got off the phone with her, I was a little confused because, she was scapegoating, but then she started pulling the goat back in her court. So, I don't know. I would just like to be better informed.
I just know that they had some shakeups, and I know last year they had some problems with the certification of assessors over several out of all 100.
It was Renita Fair.
Renita, yeah, I know.
And that's who Joe and someone else referred me to.
Okay. I'll reach out to her. Because I need to get them in that class, unless they want to take the chance of waiting until June. I don't know if they want to do that.
But I would take the monkey off of your back a little bit and get these board members set up so they can go to that website themselves.
We're trying.
Yeah, whatever it takes. But that's where my confusion starts to come in.
Yeah.
But that would be all I would request, is to verify how that's done so that board members can go to the site.
Absolutely.
Well, the other thing too, and you have to excuse my ignorance. We were sworn in, girl Brent and I. We should have been sent to the commissioner's office to fill all the tax paperwork out at that time or within the week. I just got mine last week and took it to Miss Joanne last Thursday because I didn't want to email every bit of that information online. We should have got that information within 3 days of being sworn in, because that's held her up on payroll because she didn't have our tax information. So we've got to do better anytime a new board member comes to get the required information, Greg, that we need to fill out. I mean, because we could have possibly already been able to take the class in January or February if it was available.
That would have been
I'll
the case.
control that. That's the county governing authority. They
Okay.
have nothing to do with Greg.
I'm just asking, I told you my ignorance of how the county does every bit of this, who's responsible for what, I'm learning. So, I'm not pointing fingers, but I'm just making a statement. That should come pretty quickly once you're sworn in. You're on the board. Everything you need to fill out for the county, because that's holding her payroll up.
Want to go back to the discussion on meetings.
Yeah, well, when we get to 10, we're
Okay.
gonna do that, so.
Oh, I
So-
see that. Okay.
So now we're,
All right, so then I'd also like to, ask Greg on the website. I get a lot of my clients call me, and here's one I just got Friday. I told her I'd look into it. We did a deed of assent from her father's estate to her in May of last year. And it's still in her father's name on the website. Well, when our clients get this information, they wig out. They're like, oh, the deed didn't get recorded, or, it's not in my name. And I have to explain to them, it's in your name, the deed has been recorded. But that's been since May, and she's concerned about it. So,
We'll make sure we get this fixed today.
okay. But it's not just her that I get phone. It's pretty regular that I get calls. And I'm gonna be honest, it's not just Pike County, it's other counties too. I just,
You print this from Q Public?
Yeah.
That's the first day of 25 last year. So more than likely, this has already been updated.
okay.
So if you
I'm
give your
sorry, I
client-
got that from your website. Yeah, from Q Public.
That's a year ago. That's a year ago data.
Okay,
That's not 26 data.
okay,
When these deeds are filed in 25, we've worked on for 26.
okay.
So more than likely,
It'll
call our
update
office
soon.
and say, hey, Greg, this is Brent. I need to make sure Ms. Fritz's here is the legal owner as of 26, because that's what the law requires.
Mhm.
I'd more than likely be able to tell you yes.
Okay. Alright, so I need to tell these folks that you're not gonna get an update on the website.
The website is a third party. That
Yes.
has nothing to do with Pike County. That
Okay.
is somebody we hired to put the information out on the, if they need to know something, they need to dial 2002 and talk to the tax assessor's office.
Okay.
That is why Joe taught me when I had my say at the commission meeting to pull the tax card,
Mhm.
because that's the law of the land versus Q Public.
Q Public.
So that's
Okay.
why I've gone that way.
Well,
It's-
I know what to tell them now.
How
So-
often is Q Public?
At the
Once a year?
courthouse.
Once a year for the
You
roll.
you gotta go to him and get the tax card. His
So
tax
we
card.
can't give out data on it. I mean, somebody can call and say, hey, tell me who the owner is. I can tell you that, but I can't give out values. We're not 6 yet until this board approves it.
Yes. So Greg, how often, speaking of that, does your office talk to Superior Court about title changes?
We don't talk to Superior Court. Once a week, we go over there and get the PT 61s and have them work.
Important. That's what I was asking, how that process works.
Or whenever they get enough, because like these don't involve money. It's just an assent. That's all it is. So we pay more attention to the money ones. We get those work more than likely first.
Well,
But I will check and make sure that that's in this lady's name.
Okay, so now we're still on 8 board members reports. Anybody got any other discussions, inquiries, concerns, statements? You want us to start doing a subset report? I mean,
Shut up.
not really, seriously though. You got anything else?
No, I think I did, but it's gone, so.
If you recall it, well, you can bring it back
Okay,
up.
is there any way we can get a tax assessor manual?
Ye-
Yeah, we can get you a copy of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, also,
you want one too?
yes, please.
I think I have one. So that's 2 requests there, Greg.
Okay, that's it.
All
for
right,
me.
all right. Anybody? You done? You got anything else? All right, we're gonna move on to Chief Appraiser report.
At the last commission meeting, I heard taxpayers stand up and say some half truths. I want to make certain that I put it on the record how I feel about this clarification on property appraisal process. Dear Board of Assessors, I hope this message finds you well. I would like to take a moment to clarify the property appraisal process in Pike County considering a recent inquiry. Our appraisal office does not enter occupied homes as part of our standard procedure. The appraisers are required to visit the property in person, including walking around the residence and any outbuildings, to conduct a thorough exterior inspection. Should any discrepancies arise, the appraisers are responsible for making the necessary adjustments based on their observations. It is important to note that property owners are responsible for ensuring the accuracy of the data regarding their properties. This can be accomplished through the submission of a property tax return, which is due between January the 1st and April the 1st each year. Notices are mailed yearly to property owners to inform them of the current data on file, and if an owner believes there is an error, they have the option to file an appeal to verify the accuracy of the data. Please note, the responsibility to verify the property data lies with the property owner. If a discrepancy is not reported or could not be reasonably confirmed through an on-site visual inspection, the data is presumed to be accurate. We strive to maintain the integrity of the appraisal process and encourage property owners to reach out if they notice any inconsistencies or have questions about their property data. Thank you for your understanding. Should you have further questions or require additional assistance, please don't hesitate to contact our office. Our report is brief today. Hope this message finds you well. I will keep this update brief. Since the opening of the books for the 2026 digest year, the office has been exceptionally busy. The primary focus of our current activities has been processing homesteads and conservation applications. As we move closer to the April 1st deadline, we anticipate this workload to increase significantly, and our team is prepared to manage the increased volume. With the submission of applications, particularly conservation and forest land use applications, comes the need for property inspections. This is a complex and time-consuming task, as some properties may have numerous outbuildings that require careful inspection to assess their characteristics. These inspections are a critical part of the process, but they can take a significant amount of time out of the day to complete. We will continue to monitor the progress of the applications and ensure that all processes are being handled efficiently to meet the necessary deadlines. Additionally, the personal property reporting forms have been mailed, and we have begun to receive and process those reporting forms. We are also in the process of sending reporting forms to businesses located within these cities. Emily Morris is overseeing that task. Thank you for your support and your attention to that matter. That's all I have.
Hey, all right, is that it? I want to backtrack real quick. Did you print this up for yourself?
I did.
Okay, so I didn't explain myself now that we're being potentially viewed by the public other than those sitting right here. So I'm gonna just summarize why I was so adamant about the laptop. Is we get our agendas that you're referring to, and it's multiple pages, like
I know.
159 plus
Yeah.
pages. So in order, if you want to have it, now I would always grab a copy of theirs, just to have it in front of me. But the purpose of the laptop is so that we could, we don't have to do this, save money.
Print out
They
the
save money
160
by
pages.
printing out stuff. And we're able to go along with
Yeah.
the meeting and make reference to what subject matters we're discussing. That's all I have. That's the reason I think it's
I
cost
agree.
effective and
Yeah.
efficient for us. All right, so now we're moving on to 10, old business. We get to that discussion of this meeting calendar for this year, 2026. All right, I have one interjection. If you want to have the meeting at 8, I think it would be great compromise at 8 to 8:30. There's some reasons I think that the office has to open up before they come here. So there's logistics involved in that. Logistics involved in, what's her name? The lady, paper lady? I'm just kidding. Becky Watson. She has to set it. Now we're wanting to be transparent. So we're going to Facebook or YouTube, whichever it is. She has to set that up. I just think it would be maybe a little bit better for all involved to maybe do it no earlier than 8:30, if that's the consensus of the board,
Okay.
on the morning agenda.
I think also if we're going that route, I think we should be able to have someone with the grounds to open this building at 8 to give her time so that we could start promptly at 8:30.
Exactly.
And that way we wouldn't have been behind opening the building, I could have had the flag done before everybody got here. So, but that way it'd give her time to set up her equipment, so forth and so on, and then get the heat on or the air on, depending on the time of year.
And lastly, I would like to weigh the option of just having one meeting a month. I would rather have one meeting a month and it be longer than it's just very difficult for me to be out of my office twice a month.
I mean, we can
Very difficult.
we can always change it again if we change it. You see what I'm saying? If we decided to make a motion to go to one meeting a month, and we're like, man, that's just
I
too
mean, I would
much.
really like to have one, if we do it too, I'd really like to have one in the evening.
You mean if we had just one meeting, do it in the
If
evening?
we
Yeah.
continue to have two, have one in the evening, not just for our sake, but for the public's sake. It gives working people the opportunity to come to the meetings.
And maybe that's why Mr. Milner's not here, because he had
He's
to
got a
work.
job, And I wanted to know if the secretary can't,
It has to be, the code was rather clear to me, and that's why I called up there just to interpret the code. There again, the state supposedly controls everything. It's all about money. But it has to be an assessor from the assessor staff.
I understand that. But who is the boss of the secretary?
Well, that's kind of cloudy, but I think essentially the Board of Assessors would, who determines that? I'll refer
The
this,
chief appraiser is
Is that-
oversight of the staff. However, staff and the policies related to staff fall under the Board of Assessors.
So it would be no different than a commissioners meeting in the evening and them paying Miss Blunt to be the secretary to take the minutes. Is that correct?
Well, she is the county clerk. That's
Right.
part of her job.
Okay.
and so we elect the secretary, so the secretary doesn't have to hold their hand up or take part in that election process, right? They don't have,
No, we elect the secretary from Greg's staff. Is that correct? Am I getting that correct?
Yes.
But if we decide to have the meeting, one meeting at night, and it's voted on by the board, then it's Greg's responsibility to have a secretary present at that meeting, even though we didn't elect that secretary. Is that correct? Or
No, you guys have determined the secretary, and then that's why you tabled some of this discussion to find out if there is somebody that's able to do that. And possibly there was a discussion about doing a secretary and a co-secretary or a vice secretary.
correct? And it was
the code doesn't
So
allow
it
for
basically
that.
says the board shall select from the county appraisal staff one appraiser to act as secretary to the board for the tax year. That's really all it says.
so if we said we're having one meeting a night, then it would be required by the elected secretary to come.
If that's what you determine by policy.
And the Department of Revenues even said that, no, they have to be an assessor from the assessor staff. And I said, so you mean that we can't just hire temporary, one to fill in that follows the meeting and listens to the recorder to compose the meetings, minutes? And they said, no, that can happen on an irregular and infrequent basis on a rather out of the ordinary circumstance, but to make a routine habit out of it, our commander-in-chief says no.
I'm for these meetings at 8:30. I'd like to accommodate y'all. I'm perfectly comfortable with our meetings like we did have them, but to accommodate you two new members, then we need to do a 8:30 meeting and have an evening meeting also at 6 o'clock. And I think keeping
5
to
o'clock, you mean? Was it 6 or
It's
5?
Six.
6.
Then I think we also talked about 5:30
Yeah, I think
to accommodate.
6 o'clock would accommodate property owners, and we would kind of stay in line with the county too by having 2 meetings.
What do y'all think about one meeting?
Stuff comes up in the
I like the
office.
one meeting.
I like
I
the
mean,
one
you guys
meeting.
want, you got me, you guys gonna pull the trigger on, I just not so sure about, there's a lot of ruffle there. You just assume you go home,
You're
everything's
missing a
going.
board member too.
I
You're
know,
missing a board member too.
we are.
And he works all night.
Christopher T.
Yeah, we're missing a board member, yeah, and we've already had discussions with him, but, I mean, it's still a democracy, so you're still gonna vote,
We got a quorum.
yeah. But what do y'all think about one meeting a month?
I like it.
Greg, what kind of load would that put on your office?
You know, it's just-
Things come up to have 2 meetings, things come up in the office and it need to be handled in 2 weeks. And that's basically what we own right now is this kind of schedule. And it's a heavier load to have 1 meeting, in my opinion, but it's a vote that we can go to. And that's what we can make a motion to have 2 meetings, or you can make a motion to have 1, or whatever y'all want to do. But I understand y'all's position where you work, and it's hard to get qualified people because most qualified people have careers and have jobs. So we need an evening meeting. That would-
I think that if you have one meeting a month, it's just gonna require a little bit more efficiency. On what? You tell me, I don't do that job.
It doesn't matter to me. I do not. If you need an extra meeting, you have a special call meeting. A lot of counties do 1 meeting a month, but they may have more staff members than we do.
Well, that's-
This is asking a lot of work on it.
All right, so
There's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of information goes into these packets.
Right now, the
sounds
office is
sounds
running
like
short
one
on
meeting. Sounds like
help right now.
one
Right.
meeting's gonna shortfall everybody.
Right.
So now we're at a point to where we're gonna have an evening meeting and go from there.
So going back to Christopher T. His term is up in June of 27, is that correct?
No, it's this year.
I asked Miss Angela when I took my paperwork. She had him to June of 27.
I think he's done. You recall?
Off the top of my head.
Okay. Well, anyway,
So that'll be a new board member if it's this June versus. So. And he was good with working all night and coming at 8:30, correct?
yes, he was at the consensus of the board. If you want to do a night meeting, he was okay with that, and he was better with 8:30 than 8.
Back to what I said, they short-handed now, about 1 or 2 down of employees,
2 people down.
2 people. So
And what role are those?
In a perfect world, you have 2 more people. You have somebody who could dedicate their time to
Right.
doing all the stuff y'all want done. That's a lot for our 4 member staff.
Right. Well, that's what we're trying to
Same
do,
with
Greg,
me.
is help you.
Same with the meetings. You're dragging things out after hours. Coming in here at 8 o'clock, dealing with people all day. Then you want to wait until 6:30. It doesn't matter to me. I have another job when I get off from here, so I'm going to go back to work no matter what. I have other employees too.
But now that's another topic for discussion. Is we've discussed that several times, but we've not been proactive. I mean, we have in our staff budget, we have room to hire people. We just got to be strategic as to what positions those parties are going to be hired for. We really need to look at hiring 1 or 1 or 2. Yeah.
we need a motion to set the schedule meeting.
At least the next one. You
Yes,
gotta have the next one. You gotta have the one on the 10th.
yeah, we need to set a calendar meeting.
Yes, you do. Should have already been.
We need a motion to it.
Yeah, if we're done with the discussion and we're going to go ahead and set the calendar, yeah. So I mean, if we're of the consensus of a first Tuesday, second Tuesday of the month being an 8:30 meeting, and the fourth Tuesday of the month being a 5:30 meeting.
6 o'clock. wasn't it?
No, I think we
County Commissioner meeting is on the fourth.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Can't do it on the fourth Tuesday, on the evening.
they don't come to our meetings anyway.
Rob does.
It's not playing.
Pike County Towns
Don't
does.
laugh. Well, what would be the, wow. So we'd have to maybe go to a second Tuesday and a third Thursday, or flip them. You're saying, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying, or recommending. Have that evening meeting the second Tuesday and go to the fourth Tuesday, the morning meeting, in order to accommodate the public and his, does that make sense to you now?
But it depends on whether you go to 1 or 2 meetings. You're asking me, I want to clarify a couple of things. You may or may not have openings for personnel because you have opted to consider contract work with Norman Appraisals.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to clear that for the record since it's being recorded or being aired. So we need to be careful with that. There needs to be a budget analysis, make a determination on staffing issues. What you all discussed previously was that Norman and Associates would be in lieu of some staff hirings. And that was a discussion that was made when you had a resignation of an employee that did not fill that position because Norman and Associates were doing some work. Second of all, if you're going to 1 meeting a month, if you did it the first week, like you've done one of your meetings, that would allow your appraisal staff to do the month prior, and you would be up to date to the month prior, and you're doing it the first week of that month. So for example, if you chose to have a meeting the first week of March, they would have all the information through February, hopefully to you by the Wednesday before that meeting. Finances, all the budget, all that stuff would be up to date. That's one consideration. Now, as far as the meeting facility, if you're going to continue to meet here, we just need to make sure that there's not a conflict with training or meetings scheduled at the night.
So, I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. I mean, the change is change, and you can always change it again. It's not.
True.
I would be willing to try the once a month meeting, and do it at 8:30 and have the first Tuesday of the month. Does that would be the second Tuesday of the month? Stay on that schedule, or the first Tuesday of the month, which would give.
I'm just making the suggestion. Either one would be fine to give them the opportunity to have the information for them.
So where we are right now is, unless we have things on the agenda that were going to be brought before us, the fourth Tuesday of the fourth Tuesday of the month, that would be a whole month to prepare a meeting, and we would start next month with just our first meeting and only meeting of that month.
I'm hearing your chief appraiser, though, there are items that he has slotted for the 10th. Press. So
Okay.
we may need to have
Well, we might can just do a
adopt the
special.
meeting schedule and then have a call meeting.
Yes, that's what I would say.
I'm not available.
And there again, I mean, if you're not when we do. I mean, if we have to have special call meetings,
Yeah.
and we can't have everybody here, if you got a quorum, you've got a quorum.
That's right.
That's right. Because I'm not going to be here at the next meeting. I have continuing education at work.
I will be here on the 10th. I won't be here tomorrow. Sorry, Parrish.
No, I'm okay. I just want to make sure that, we just,
Well, one other thing too is moving the meeting to one time a month. That's less expenditure on the county for paying us. Instead of paying us twice, we only pay once a month. That's less expenditure.
we still get paid what Jimmy Carter paid.
It's okay. We also volunteered.
I know. I don't do it for the money, but it is a matter of principle with me.
You do the morning meetings second Tuesday of the month. First Tuesday.
I make a motion, we have one meeting a month at 8:30
On the second
On the-
Tuesday of
on
each
the
month.
second Tuesday of each month, and any additional work that we need to take care of, we'll have a call meeting.
Okay, I got a
second it.
motion on the floor
I
regarding
second it.
setting the agenda calendar, our monthly meetings. The motion is to schedule one monthly meeting, second Tuesday of the month at 8:30 a.m. and any subsequent meetings that need to be held as a result of executing business issues coming up would be in the form of a special call meeting. Can I entertain a second? Got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Do we need to add to keep next Tuesday, the 10th,
Do that by-
Yeah.
as scheduled?
You do that by
We'll
Okay,
do,
separate, okay,
yeah.
that's separate.
got a motion and a second. No further discussion. Take it to a vote. All in favor? All opposed?
Same.
Huh? You didn't abstain. You voted, right?
I'm opposed of one
Okay.
meeting a
All right.
month.
That's all right.
Doesn't give the office adequate time to prepare.
All
All
right.
this stuff comes up.
All right, so now we need to entertain a motion to have a special call meeting for the fourth Tuesday of this month. And,
Fourth Tuesday?
wait a minute,
Wouldn't that be the second?
It's the second Tuesday,
yes,
next
I'll make a
Tuesday.
motion.
yes. It's next week, right?
Next
Right.
Tuesday.
Next
Right,
Tuesday.
so second Tuesday.
All right, so you make a motion for the special call meeting.
Yes,
What time we're gonna hold that meeting?
8:30.
8:30. All right, very well. Can I have a second? Got a motion to have a special call meeting for Tuesday. You're not gonna be here.
No, sir.
Well,
Y'all know this Christopher too is gonna be
he said he would be here.
at the next meeting.
Mhm.
I make a motion, we have the call meeting.
She already did.
A second.
All right, so we got a motion and we got a second by Brent Davis. To have a special call meeting next Tuesday, which is our regular scheduled meeting, usually at 8:30 a.m. All in favor? All opposed? You can still vote on
Yeah, the
it.
discussion is that, Brett Davis and Rob Moore won't be
Did you want that on the?
here. Yeah, I just want to make sure y'all know.
Mhm.
You
We
can
know
vote-
you
can
won't
vote
be
yes
here.
for it.
Well, he
And
said
he said he won't be here. You
he's gonna be in training.
You can still vote for the meeting. even though you
Yeah, I'll
won't
vote
be here.
for it, yeah.
I'd be hypocritical, but you know. All right, that vote carried. So we have a special call meeting Tuesday of next week, 8:30.
That's the normal.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been.
It would have
Since we
been.
hadn't approved the meeting schedule.
Right.
Hey, item 10C, what happened to
Yeah,
B?
with B.
What happened to B? Is that B supposed to be C? I mean, C supposed to be
Yeah,
B?
more like the mobile home digest. I had to rerun it because there was an update that came out the next day and it increased the valuation. So we need your approval to, we've already sent it. The bills have already been sent out. This is just the administration. That's all it is.
So you need a form of a
To
motion?
approve what we sent y'all over the weekend, Friday. It was about a $4 million difference in favor of the county.
So that's a revision then?
Yes.
All right, so I need a motion for the approval of submission of the revised mobile home digest.
I'll make a motion.
I second
Second.
the motion to approve the updated digest.
Got a motion and a second on the floor. Brent Taylor made the motion, Brent Davis seconded. All in favor? Motion carries. Okay, 11, we're down to new business. Discussion of consent order. First item under new business. Who has the discussion on the consent order? Anybody?
Put it on there.
Brent, was that you?
What is it?
Discussion of the consent order. Did you have any discussion on? I think that line item was put on the agenda, your inquiry through the email to you, is that right? How did it get put on the agenda?
Freshman.
Okay,
Freshman.
you got some questions about it?
I don't remember what it was about.
It's an order that the county's under.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Sorry. Been a rough weekend. I think the question was, where are we on it, I guess? I'm trying to remember. I'm sorry. Again.
Well,
Joe touched on a lot of that regarding commercial property. He also kind of visited on residential also. Where are we at meeting at the bottom?
54, there are 54 items that have to be met on this, okay? 54 items. Every one of these is an item. The Department of Revenue wants to complete.
And I guess my question was, where are we on those 54 items?
Well, you're gonna be in the consent until all 10,419 properties are inspected.
Gotcha. And then
So most,
Joe just explained all
a
that.
lot of that, that's all part and parcel of the schedule building.
Uh-huh.
The main thing is getting the property visited. That is the main thing that the If
Okay.
you go all the way back, and I thought about this, when you go back to 2024, when the county was put, when the commissioners, the Board of Assessors decided they wanted a review of the way the Board of Assessors ran, and that I think it was a 102-page document came back from the state of Georgia and said, this is what's right, this is what's wrong, this is what you do need to do, this is what you don't need to do. The result of that is this consent order. This is telling the county, hey, you want us to tell you what you need to do? You got 53 items. There will always be until at least every property is, that's why I brought that box of papers over. All that stuff behind you over there is what our office looked at last year, starting on January the 28th.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2,200 pieces of property in that box. We start over again for January for this year. And that's like I said in my reports. My goal is to get 5,000 done this year. And that is an attainable goal with Norman's help
Mm-hmm.
and with the staff in the appraisal office. I have to go out and look at property every day, just like Dusty does. We don't have the luxury of sending 4 appraisers out because there would be nobody in there to run the office.
Yeah.
There are times when it can seem like there's not a lot going on in there, but I can assure you, there's always somebody calling. There's always somebody coming. There's always somebody going. Can you help me with this exemption? I even get calls sometimes. I don't even know if I'm calling the right department. That takes away from your concentration. Most chief appraisers, they do not have to answer telephones. I don't mind answering telephone because I know Danielle or Emily or Dustin, they're out there working on stuff, or working on appeals or transfers, splits, creating neighborhoods. So somebody's got to answer that phone. And I've also, when you dial some of these other jurisdictions, you mentioned Fayette County, you're going to find a robot. You're going to find a robot. You're going to talk to an AI assistant. They're going to ask you, hey, what do you need to talk about? Do you need to buy a tag? Do you need an exemption for a homestead? Do you need conservation questions? All these are, and they'll get you to the right person so that when that person's phone rings, they know what they're asking about. I'm not. This is a rural area,
Right.
And God, I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way because I interact with the customer. I interact with the taxpayers, and they won't go up and talk in front of the commissioner, but they'll come talk to me, and I know what their problems are because they tell me, and they want things easy. They don't like things complicated. They want it easy, and when they come in and say, you know what, you made that easy. I think I've done my job. You were fair with me. That's my job. Not to make somebody else happy or they don't agree with the way something's looked at. We have a very, very specific task, and that's to value all the property in this county and exempt what qualifies. That was the result of this consent order. We only gained praise from the Department of Revenue on a lot of stuff. There were some things we did correct. But you have to understand that when this county, when I came to work here back in 2013, there was the the person that had been the chief appraiser before, she had been here 10 years and left, and then we had somebody who was kind of thrown into it. So we didn't really have a mentor that had been in a position to say, I've been here 25 years and this is what you do on such and such date, on April the 1st, on May the 15th. Your digest has to be submitted by July the 15th. One of those items in that consent order, and the most important one to me last year was, when you read it, it says the digest must be submitted to the Department of Revenue on July 15th of that year. That had, since I've been here, it had never been done, and it was done. It was sent to them on July the 15th. But the problem that we have now is getting to all the properties. That's the main thing. The main thing that when you talk to any jurisdiction in this county, they'll say the hardest part they have is getting all the properties visited. Because some people don't want you to visit their property. They don't want you there. They'll pull a gun on you. They'll sick their dogs on you. Because I've had dogs sent on me not long ago. When I came into their property and they turned their German Shepherds out on me. So when you say, oh, well, you need to go check these houses, there's a lot of caution you have to take around there. Some people don't. When you go around their house and they might be doing something that, let's just say, is nefarious, we walk up on that too. So we try to be very accommodating with the taxpayers in this county, because believe me, I got a lot of friends here, and I know that there's some that don't agree with it, and that's fine and dandy. That's the beauty of America. You're free to not agree with it. But I know that it's been a struggle since 2022, because this all goes back to 2022 when the ratio was 29-27. It's not 29-27 anymore. We corrected that. We corrected that issue for the next year, and we corrected it for 24. And hopefully this time next year, when you get your ratio for this year, you're going to find out what you did last year was right too. Because when these values are low, when these values are not accurate, then guess what? The people that can most afford to pay their taxes don't have to pay their taxes. The Georgia Powers don't pay it the fair share. The EMCs don't pay it. All those big people that say, hey, where's my notice? I'm ready to pay my tax. And I've heard Brent say, we want to ease the burden off of the elder. I want to ease it off of them too. I'd love to eliminate it. But you can't, unless without legislation. So if we don't keep these values accurate, and that's what this consent order is about, is keeping these values accurate.
Back to this? It says that within 15 days at the end of each quarter. So you're having to file a quarterly report?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and then are we meeting what they're requiring?
They have not.
And if not,
well, that's how many questions? Let's see. I got one question. I have to submit a quarterly report of the 15 days after each quarter.
Okay, that's answer number one. What's the next question?
So what's the next question?
Okay, so and you're meeting what they're requesting.
What they do is they'll call and say, I send the reports in on the 15th. It's just a bullet point. It goes down this exact thing. Is this done? Yes.
Yeah.
Is this done? Yes. Is this done? No. It's in process.
Okay.
So until all these properties are looked at, because that's what the crux of this consent order is, look at all the property. That's what Norman is.
Are we getting penalties still, or are we still paying? That was all paid in the $45,000.
No, the reason you did not pay a penalty is because they agreed to go under consent.
Okay.
So as long as you're under consent, you got to do these. You got to do these bullet points.
Okay.
So then the Department of Revenue will call and set up a time. They'll say, Greg, we need to come in there and talk. When they sent those 8 revenue people, believe us.
Okay.
We understand what they do.
Okay. That answered my question. That's what I was wondering.
So it's an ongoing process until we comply with all the.
Okay.
But the majority of these we have already done. The one that's going to keep you under consent is getting to every property.
Right.
And inspecting them properly, because when we started back in 24, they didn't tell us you make sure you got a front and back photograph. Well, what if you didn't? What if they won't let you take a photograph? What if you go to somebody and say, I don't want you to take a picture of my house. What, am I supposed to stop the consent order? I can't.
All right.
Any other questions on the consent order? Any other discussion?
I think Greg's working through it. We just have to.
We didn't pay a fine, but we paid a performance review.
Yeah.
We paid for that.
All right, so now let's move on to discussion of the budget for 26-27. 2026 to 2027 fiscal year, July the first. When does it start? July the
Due on
1st
28th. The budget's due to him on the 28th, I believe,
of
this month.
February
Yes,
to the county manager.
yes.
All right, so when you say let's have discussion of the budget, are we going to do a whole lot of discussion of the budget right now?
Well, I sent it to you.
Because we have.
I sent this to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is your proposed budget.
No, this is what we had last year. So what you need to decide, and that's why this next meeting is so important, because it's due in 10 days after the 10th. So you'll need to,
Most of these, page one is most of that's fixed expenses with the exception of regular employees if you decide not, to budget for new employees and for. Most of these are all customary year-to-year projections based on historical expenses and based on what is fixed, barring any increase in that fixed amount. And then regular employees would be, are there going to be any increases in salary? Are there going to be other positions open? So then you would expand that budgetary line item. These laptops that we felt like would be needed and efficient, that goes under what? What line item does laptops go under?
computers.
Down at the bottom.
Just computers, really? Okay.
Well,
I mean, it is a computer. I didn't know if it'd fall under office equipment or what.
Well, I didn't know there's two line items.
Budget process for your purposes. We get the idea that you want some sort of capital purchase such as laptops. We will have a separate
Line
funding
item.
source. We're trying to create a capital improvements portion of our budget that captures those kind of purchases. So it'll be reflected under your budget, but it'll also be reflected under the county's capital with your department attached under it.
Tell you what, how's the finance? What's his role again? The finance manager? What's his?
Finance Administrator Clint Chastain
Yeah. Well, how long has he been here?
since 2024.
Well, that must be pretty beneficial because I can remember when I was in office.
Here you did.
Who?
You had, that was Kate Landers, who was a previous,
Oh, she was in,
she was.
that was supposedly her title?
Yes.
Okay, so Greg, what kind of discussion did you want to have on this?
So he needs, what I heard him just say is that if you guys aren't prepared to talk in detail about that today, he needs to have that on the next meeting agenda, the 10th, so he can turn that in and submit it for what you all requested.
All right, so these would be subjects to think about between now and then. That special call meeting is, you need to determine, is there any other office personnel that may need to be acquired? And if, you get that needs to go with Greg, coordinate with Greg too. I mean, is there anybody, you need any further help in that office?
like I said, part of that process was go on. That's like having 2 more employees.
It's just this,
Administratively, I'm sorry.
Huh?
Administratively, you don't need,
Well,
all right, so because you don't need a data input. Do you need that? You got someone who's designated as your personal property? Who's designated for the mobile home digest is separately. So those are items right there to be kind of segregated.
yes, personal property person, you gotta have. You form that out.
And does it take someone doing that annually?
What?
Solely personal property?
Yeah, all the time.
All right.
There's no telling how much money you may miss if you don't.
How
You don't
you-
have a competent, if you gotta have a competent person, not just a warm body in a seat.
And keep in mind the contract services that were referenced, was not included in the budget because it was able to be paid with other funding sources.
So that needs to be brought by
You
a
need to
line
add
item
that into
itself.
The contract service line item, because you have with your contract with Q Public, and who is your other third-party provider? You had Eagle
Eagle View.
Eagle
Had
View.
a flight. And that was another thing in the consent order was flight. That had to be done with.
Does that have a renewal on it or?
It's a 6-year contract. They'll do 2 flights,
So
3 years.
we don't even need to address that in this
We gotta
next,
pay them for this year.
You gotta pay them for this year.
okay?
Said y'all think about that.
Have you looked at how much of our budget will not be unused, a combination that will go into a contingent fund? I'm just curious because that's,
I don't look at budgets that way.
well, the Board of Commissioners do and the county manager does because that's contingency fund that's gonna go into a separate account that's gonna go to other shortfalls, make up
I
shortfalls.
understand what you're saying. I'm just saying I don't go out and spend money because I have money on it because of the line item.
Right. Can you use contingency to pay for a future contract?
Question on that.
Can you?
You typically go from fiscal year to the end. One time you carry over, you have fund balance in the account for it. You make a motion for it, but that's not. So, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to be a little trickery here.
I understand.
So let,
So I think that it would be helpful. Greg, provide you with some itemizations for such as contract services, included the amounts that you're currently paying. Maybe helpful for you all to have a list of your employees and what they're currently budgeted for.
And what their job descriptions are, or what their task or duties are.
And this is not happening in detail, but he's already got.
Yeah.
That way you can look at it and you can have discussions on it. Determine, because it's cost analysis on what you're paying Joe Norman versus what staff member, what services is Norman Associates performing that would have been done in-house? What are still necessary? We know that since Melissa Connell retired, there really hasn't been a designated property assessor.
so let me ask one question, if you don't mind. So, did I hear this correctly, that Norman and Associates are being paid through different means than your budget?
Yes.
So, if we hired 2 additional staff members for your shortcoming,
They were paid last year's. Those funds are no longer available.
okay,
So the current funding that he wants to bring that you're supposed to consider the next money is gonna have to come out of your budget.
okay, that
And
was my
Is that
question.
the 162? What is the contract services that are?
At 162, it's not
16,982?
all part of that. Let's see, no, that,
16
Q Public,
Q Public,
Q Public,
okay,
Eagle View.
got it.
There's Wired.
Your equipment,
Equipment.
printers and those kind
Got
of
it,
things.
yeah.
Okay,
I got all that written down. Sorry, it's on the folder.
all right, so let's go ahead and move on from this budget. Discussion of the budget
You just need to be prepared
to discuss it at the next meeting with data brought to, with some little bit of isolated data brought
So
from you.
just so you can make a note, Greg, is that based on the vote earlier, you need to have that to them by Wednesday.
I will.
all right.
Well, that is quick, isn't it? Okay. All right, so no further discussion on that item, being that we're gonna have a little bit more specific data to look at and discuss next regular, the call meeting. We're gonna move on to the third item under new business. We need an approval to send a tax refund relief application for Gregory, parcel number 069-069H, to the Board of Commissioners. Can entertain a motion to send this, basically a tax. Any discussion on that? Any explanation needed? I think it's pretty clear.
No, wait. I want to make something clear
Okay.
about this. Y'all got a motion in a second.
Basically, it looks like this is due to parcel, well, acreage count changing, going that, you know, they're getting a refund for 3 years. Is that it? Yes.
Says correction of square feet value.
Oh, yeah.
$2,200. So,
I mean, the thing is, it is what it is at this point, you know, they've already, is that something that Joe looked at?
No.
Okay,
no,
something you looked at?
It wasn't me, it's a staff member. I'm not sure if that's the one that is no longer here. The problem that I have with these.
All right, let's go ahead and get it in a motion. We need a motion, then we have a discussion. So I need to entertain a motion to either approve or deny, and then we can go to discussion. My recommendation would be to a motion to approve. And I don't ever, I don't usually make motions as chairman. But when we don't get going on something, sometimes I will. That don't necessarily mean it's gonna get seconded, though, you know?
That's right. I make a motion to approve the recommendation.
Got a motion, can I entertain a second?
I'll second it.
We got a motion and a second. Now let's go to discussion.
Just for your information, I'm not gonna be accepting these for Board of Commissioners' consideration until the first paragraph is completed. I met with Greg on that. If the applicant is requesting a refund, they need to complete the first paragraph about their request and sign and date it. Otherwise, we're not gonna consider it.
And then what I would add to that would be, if someone, any taxpayer, if they come in and say, oh, well, we found out this was wrong, they have not filed a return, I'll let them fill out that paragraph, and I'll bring it to you, but I'll recommend that you deny it. Because if somebody is not prudent enough to see about their own property, and they want to blame me because it's wrong, or something that I can't go inside and verify, believe me, I've written a lot of appraisals for a lot of different people. And when I go inside of a house, I know what's on the inside. But to do it from the outside, and that is one of the disadvantages of being a mass appraiser. You do not go inside unless you are asked.
So I think,
So if they have not, if somebody has filed a return and we haven't changed it, yeah, they need to go to the commission. That did it. You need to get rid of whoever did it too. I'll go that far and say that. But if it's just my insurance man told me my square footage is wrong, you should have told us that to start with. That's not my fault.
That's right. You make the measurements, and that's all you
We
have.
get the footprint right.
That's all you have.
on the exterior, so.
Yes, that is correct.
So you don't know whether that square footage is finished or unfinished unless they provide that information.
100%.
So, I mean, I get what you're saying there, so.
And if they don't pull a permit to do any additions or upgrades in the house, then Greg has no way to know that.
Well, you do that, you catch that in that 3-year review, because that's part of that consent. You go back to that. Every property should be reviewed every 3 years. That's just like the hands on the clock.
All right, so back to your point, we're gonna pull this in real quick. So you're saying we need to amend the motion to postpone it to the next meeting until he properly executes that application?
The way I understand the process is they're bringing it to you because you are the assessors. And what the Board of Commissioners have historically done is that they receive these documentation, and historically, neither Greg or Donna Chapman, as you'll know, make anything. They don't mark anything. They just date it that they had it, and there's not a recommendation to go to the Board of Commissioners. And as Brenda's indicated, they want to be able to understand why this is being requested. The form itself requires the applicant to tell you why.
Yeah,
And
it's
sign
not
it and
filled
date
out.
it.
Yeah, it's not filled out.
When we deal with other applications with the county, if it's not signed and dated complete, we don't accept the application.
So it wouldn't be prudent of us to approve it knowing that it's gonna get rejected because it's not properly executed?
It would be prudent also not to accept their application until they complete that.
I agree.
All right, so can I entertain a revised motion based on the information that was just discussed and provided? What will be your revised motion? Based on the incomplete application and that it's not gonna, would be to reject it and send it back to him for revision?
So Greg, who gives them the tax refund relief?
Well, that comes out of the tax commissioner's office.
The commissioners.
We have these documents available as well.
Okay.
But like he just said, the Board of Assessors doesn't agree or disagree with any of it. That's what's changed. Because in life, when you go and make.
So we're just making the approval to send it to the Board of Commissioners.
Yes.
He's basically saying it's gonna be rejected, so.
Because it's incomplete.
But now that we know it's incomplete, who's being responsible? Us, are we being responsible for making that motion To approve it to be sent to them, knowing that it's gonna be rejected?
We should deny it because it's incomplete.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you gonna, you want, can I
Revise your
entertain a
motion.
revision of your motion?
Yes. I make a revision to my motion that we deny said application until the relief application is completed by the property owner.
Okay, that sounds good. Can I
Have
entertain?
a second.
Okay, so we got a motion and a second to deny the approval of sending this tax refund relief application over to the Board of Commissioners due to incomplete application. All in favor? All right. Okay, now we need the next item is approval of a non-disclosure. And just, this non-disclosure, when you get this, I don't know if you guys are familiar, you'll, after about a year, you'll say, okay, you'll say, okay, non-disclosure. That's a law enforcement personnel who doesn't want anybody to be able to find out where they're living.
Not just law
Yeah,
enforcement.
they're qualified.
Yeah, judges, oh, who are they? Whoever else, right?
Partner, family, children.
Electricians.
Anybody that feels like they could be, yes, yeah. You know, we should start broadening that spectrum.
I actually think one of the planning and zoning personnel was on this at one time.
Wow.
I don't think he's been removed since he's not on the planning anymore.
Who's the app? You got that application? We usually look at it just to see.
Don't say the name out loud.
No, you can, yeah, you don't want to do
That's
that.
why we don't put that one out.
Yeah.
It's law enforcement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It tells you what they do. That's all you need to see.
Wow. That's probably one that needs to be on there.
100%.
Mm-hmm. All right, you can I entertain a motion to approve the non-disclosure.
Oh, yeah, I'll make a motion to
Got a
approve
motion
the
on the floor.
non-disclosure.
Brent Taylor,
Second.
got a second by Brent Davis. All in favor of non-disclosure, motion carries. Okay, we need board consideration. This is on property owner Arnold, plat 056-016. He wants to be removed from Cuba.
And in his letter, he wanted to get his children of this property, and it's gonna be impossible with it being in conservation, so he's decided he want to come to the board and say it's voluntary breach and he'll pay his fine.
And what's his penalty?
It should be on there.
Well, I was wanting a little bit of guidance.
About $10,000.
How much?
About 10.
Well, that's not very much.
How do we ensure that these penalties are paid? Who's in charge of
Well,
that?
they got 30, once I do that, once I send him that, then he gets a 30-day notice because he has a 30-day right to remediate. After that, then it's going to the tax commissioner, she sends the bill.
He sends the bill.
And collects.
How does she,
She'll lien the property if they don't pay.
sir?
She'll lien the property if it's not paid, and then she closes.
And that goes for all our other breaches
Absolutely.
too. She'll blame the property.
Yep.
Got it.
Absolutely.
Good to know.
But we're just to make the assumption that
That gentleman,
we
he just-
approve this.
he's in a bad spot. That's all. And he
Understood.
didn't want to do that, and that was his best recourse, was that right there. It was easier just to pay that 10 and get out, and then fix his problem.
All right, so can I entertain a motion to remove? All right, we,
Go ahead.
so can I entertain a motion to approve the removal of plat 056-016 Arnold from Cuba?
I make a motion.
Okay, I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. Okay, now we need a consideration for SDS Development Group Sunnyside LLC. This is to release the covenant.
Yeah, this property was breached back in 2019. They paid a $24,000 penalty, but we never filed a release. So we need to get this release filed. So that's what you're approving.
All right, so we're approving the release. to be filed for removing the covenant, correct?
Yep. It's already been removed.
Mhm.
That'll just release it. That's holding up a closing. That's what I do not want to do.
All right, can I entertain a
And they,
motion?
they paid the 23 for
They did.
26.
Yes, that was paid back in 2019.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second.
Got a motion and a second on SDS Development Group Sunnyside LLC, releasing the covenant. All in favor? Motion carried. Okay, this, I didn't know was gonna be on the agenda, but there's only one SWIFT that I know.
You want to table it?
No, not unless, I mean, he started talking about it. I never saw it. All I did was tell, Emily in the office that day was that, hey, I've got my survey finally, you said approved. I just want to look, this is an explanation I just feel like I need to give. So let's go. Approval to send tax refund relief application to SWIFT 059-040 to the Board of Commissioners. I don't want to have any discussion until we get a motion, and I'm going to explain myself, and then I'm going to recuse myself and refer it to the vice chairman until this line item is over. And I can't have any discussion or explanation until we get a motion in a second.
Well, how do we make a motion whether to approve or disapprove? We don't know.
All right, so we'll go out of line, yeah.
Fraser explained.
He can kind of explain it.
Would you explain our option?
And what the item is.
We were charging him for more acres than he actually had. Okay? Until he submitted this plat to our office. It's been corrected. Now you can go back, now he's eligible to go back and collect what he overpaid on. Because we did not have a plat. That's what held things up.
I understand.
So when you see a lot of these older deeds, this is one of them, it may have 50 acres plus or minus. That plus or minus can go either way.
Trust me, I know.
Yes, you
I
do.
I just spent $10,000 and mine was 5 acres off.
Has he had a recent survey? Or just,
Yeah, this one, it was,
Um,
it was one that
We
was
may
done.
have to postpone this one too because there's no explanation.
Right. That's
Yeah,
what
the
I'm,
property owner
that's what
needs
I'm,
to fill out the
that's
application.
what I,
So-
when he,
so
when he,
I-
when he said
I
all
make a
that, I'm
motion.
like, nobody, she just took the application over there and he started talking. I'm like, I didn't do any of that.
I'm gonna make a motion to deny due to, application being incomplete.
That we can, it has
and
to
we
be.
need to see a plat when it comes in.
Yes, right there. Yeah, all right, so can I get a
Got a
second on that denial?
Yeah, I'll second.
All right, we got a motion and a second, because we got a county attorney over there that wants to cause problems. This is something, let me tell you, this is something 10 years ago when I was trying to work with the county when they were building fire stations to give them more square off their property. And I happened to be refinancing my property at that same time. And then the lender couldn't tell who was what or what was what. So they said, you got to get a survey. I didn't want to get a survey. None of my property had ever been surveyed. Didn't really care for it to be, but I had to. So when it came back, rather than having 15.69 acres, I had 8.4. Now that's a no problem. That's the no faults of the appraiser assessor's office, because back then when you had family lot of say 69 acres and that 48 of that got surveyed, they would just do the math, 69 minus 48, and that's what I had.
I agree. I had the same
But
issue.
the one problem I do have with the way things work is when I went into the office after I realized that 5 years ago, they do have a program where I said, I've only got 8.4. He said, no way. So then he takes it, looks at my and he traces it. He goes, yeah, you really only, his shows 9. And I'm like, okay, why in the hell can't you just put 9 from that? Well, you got to have a survey, official plat. I'm like, why?
Because it has to be recorded as a deed, because that's where mine was incomplete parish. I had 80 acres I had to go through and resurvey every bit of it.
So, I
It
mean,
was incomplete.
so truth be known, the survey never got an official, he never recorded it. And then they like, you got to record it. I finally got it recorded, but this is 10 years now.
about.
So you saying a recent, we won't get a recent survey. The only survey we'll have is that one, and it'll be 10 years
You
old.
got the
Mhm.
survey that he done before.
But it'll be a deed and it's recorded. I mean, mine was off parish for 30-something years.
But it only involves the north side of
It may not
109.
be a deed.
Yeah. All right, so we got a motion on the floor and a second to deny it until the property owner can be more responsible and fill out the application properly. All in favor? Oh,
No, you can't.
I can't, I recuse myself, yeah. So we still carries. So I need to get that application so I can write a paper.
So the minutes need to reflect.
All right. I'm sure the viewers will like that. Okay, H is approval to send to the Board of Equalization. What are we sending?
It's got some appeals.
Is there a 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12 properties?
That we couldn't resolve it.
Notify the board, the Superior Court, that we're ready to go to BOE.
Those are the recent appeals that hadn't signed
Yeah,
away.
this is the last 12.
Okay, that's usually where we can't resolve it or whatever.
Yeah, it has to go to the Board of Equalization to get it resolved.
So can I entertain a motion to send these 12?
Make a motion to send these 12 to the Board of Equalization.
A second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor? Okay, motion carries. All right, so now we're down to real property.
No, you have an amendment.
Oh, we have the
Yeah,
amended,
I.
which is Clower.
Clower.
What's that plat number on Clower? So this is our amendment item that falls as I, last item under new business, property owner Clower. And it's where the owner wants to split acreage out. Got 9 acres.
They already have a plat that's got that that way. They won't split that. I think at some point down the road, they will combine so that they can put property in conservation. It's not in conservation now, so they can take these apart. This will be, we'll put a parcel on this and one on that. But they're obviously gonna do some work on that 3 acres. They want to build something on there.
You have a survey.
That was brought in at the last minute Friday afternoon. That's why we had it.
So is that only right
You need
there,
to have.
a portion of the land taxes? That difference is, that's a 3 years, that's the 3 year.
Okay.
Well,
I can take care of it.
Yeah.
It was done for tax.
Right, but you need to attach where it shows.
Now what?
There's 2 lots of 5 acres.
Okay.
I would get that.
All right, I'll get that. You'll have to hold that. You'll have to continue that one.
To next meeting? Okay. So, based on a discussion between the county attorney and the chief appraiser, we need to postpone this we'll put it on the call.
Yeah, the
meeting.
explanation is that it was combined for tax purposes. You should have the documentation shows that there are 2 separate lots of record.
Okay.
He's gonna grab that survey as a legal description to show that they are 2 separate lots.
So we're gonna show this as old business on the next meeting?
Old
Yep.
business.
Okay. So- Do we need that in the form of a motion?
Yes.
Can I get a motion to postpone this line item to the next call meeting, which is Tuesday?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Brent Davis seconded. All in favor? All right, motion carries. All right, so now we're down to real property. All right, so we need an approval. We got 2 CUVAs, new applications.
New codes.
These are- And those all meet the criteria?
Absolutely.
Okay, so can I entertain a motion to approve these 2 new CUVA applications?
I'll make an approval to approve the 2.
Got a motion on the floor, can I entertain a second?
A second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Discussion.
You do have some discussion?
Well, They meet all the criteria and you go out there and inspect it, it's still necessary to bring it to the board.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right,
That's a good question. So these do meet criteria of having to
Y'all must approve these conservations.
Right.
That's why your signature's attached to the bottom of the page with 2 dates.
be, right,
it's
okay.
the same with like homestead and everything else, if they make the criteria, we
Y'all
still
gotta-
have to
y'all
approve.
gotta- Y'all gotta approve.
Got it?
All right, so we got a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. It's something we've talked about, but I think with it having a signature by a member of the Board of Assessors, I would imagine it needed to be brought before the Board of Assessors. Second, item under real property is a motion to approve a continuation of 4 Cuba renewals applications.
So is this for the address of 1294 Greg? The next one
got, which one?
There's a few of them.
These are the renewals.
on B, item B.
No, these continuation.
You got 3 types of conservations you can have. You can have a new,
Right, I get that. I'm just trying to figure out in the paperwork.
What's the first name of the one of the renewal applications?
Scott Lasseter, Kevin Hale, Gina Brewer, Karen, Daniel, and Tammy Jones Gresham.
What kind of conservation is that hell with?
See,
Oh, wildlife.
I got Lasser.
Wildlife.
So I got Lasseter.
Wish you could.
See,
It's
I'm
a
looking.
continuation.
I mean,
Perhaps,
So you gotta go
yes, it
here.
does, but
This is the hill.
you've got a minimum
I
of
think.
10. This is 16.96. He sold it to the Robertsons. They continued
It
what
can
he
get
started.
confusing.
No, I think they're gonna do a home.
But that's taking
You see
up
what I'm
to
saying?
85.
Yeah.
Once it renews.
Well, there's no name out
It's sold
here
all
on these.
That's
though.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This name is.
Or,
You know, he sold 16, he's got some more, so.
What is that? Does that say?
didn't bring the current acreage down. below the
Yeah, see, this
conservation.
one says.
Well, that'd be up here. It's gotta renew.
I don't know
It's
which one's a
continued.
renewal,
He's gotta do that, or then he
I'm
can fix the entire thing off of that.
because I don't see this.
You thinking maybe it would make more sense to, on the
What?
agenda,
What's the
to put the last name of each?
Yeah, that way. So this one we're looking at now is item B, is that correct?
If that's the continuations, yes. Yep. Oh, she sent y'all the application. She sent y'all the
She
application?
puts it all together and you can't distinguish between what's
I-
a Cuba and what's a continuation.
Well,
Yeah.
I just don't know the name out there.
I get it.
So I printed it off.
So I think what we were discussing is maybe on the future agendas, maybe they should put the last name of
We can do
everyone.
We'll put the map and
And-
parcel
and-
number and the name.
And that's just because you can't make the assumption that that we're not reviewing all this stuff. And I think it'd be easier to flow.
So B is Lassiter.
Well, B is 4 different
There's 4 of them.
Okay.
ones.
There's four continuation conservation covenants.
All right, and that would,
Lassiter, Hale,
Lassiter,
Brewer, and Daniels, and Gresham.
yeah. And you probably gonna go to a different page. It's multiple pages.
I know,
Yep.
There you go.
I got it.
Okay.
That's,
All right. So did we have a motion? Did I entertain a motion to renew these 4 applications? So can I get a motion on the 4? I don't think I did that.
yeah, I make a motion, we approve
The 4
the
continuation
4 continuations.
for Cuba. Can I entertain a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All approve? Motion. Did
Did
you?
we get a discussion?
Yeah, we'll go to discussion real
Okay.
quick. Go ahead.
Greg, I have a question on the Lassiter piece. It says 9.0 acres. I thought there was a 10-acre minimum.
Without additional documentation, but he has property that's contiguous to it, so it piggybacks off.
I got you, okay. Important,
Good question.
that's all I have.
All right, so take it to a vote. All in favor? All right, motion carries on the renewal two applications for. Move on to item C. We have got 41 S1 regular homestead exemption. These are all renewal applications, right, or new applications?
These are new homestead applications for 2026.
41.
Most of these are just regular homestead. These are the regular homesteads, I believe. That means they just have to have a driver's license and live in the county. There's no.
If you fill out the
Age
application and you've got,
62, 64, 65, 69, this then over 70. We break those out so that you're approving that. Same with the disabled veteran who's under 65 or over 65. Those are all different categories. These are just a regular S1 homestead that any Joe that lives in the county, he has that's his residence, and he can sign for homestead.
so, and if they provide the proper documentation, right?
Yeah, well, they have to have a driver's license. It has to show the address of the property that we have. They can't come in and say, well, I ain't changed my driver's license. They have to get the driver's license changed.
Before you can do it legally, yes.
Okay, so can I entertain a motion to approve the 41 applications for regular homestead?
Yeah. I'll make a motion to approve the 41 regular homestead.
Entertain a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries.
Good discussion.
Yeah, did you have any further discussion?
We'll talk about it later.
All right.
That's great.
Is there anything would educate me? Your
Well,
question?
I'm just wondering how they do it with death. If this is a continuation, like, if I was to pass away, someone had to stop the continuation of the homestead on my place. Because it'd have to be changed. I didn't know if some of this took into account that, if anybody checked it.
You mean like if the property's in my name and my wife?
Just to clarify, this is not a continuation. These are first time.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
But that would
It's a
be,
good question about when somebody passes away and the property is under a homestead.
right, I didn't know if this would be like a new as well, because, like, let's say I left it to my niece and she lived there, she become homeowner, she would have to reapply. I didn't know if some of this, if this new.
Yeah, yours will be removed. As soon as we learn
Yes.
somebody passed away, we remove the exemption.
Right, that's what I was just seeing if that was part of it.
Then they have to
Reapply.
Whoever's the new owner.
has to reapply.
Correct,
Right,
correct.
Okay, so, cool. That was good. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, I'm learning.
Because sometimes it educates us to think we know.
Yep.
All right, so now we need approval or denial of we've got 7 category S5 disabled veteran under 65 applications. And I entertain a motion. All these applications obviously have provided the proper information to be approved. And so generally these go rather quickly because you review them and you're giving these applications. But if the staff recommends approval, it's because they provided the information that qualifies them to make that
Motion
application.
to approve 7 S5 disabled veterans under 65.
Got a motion on the floor to approve the 7 S5 applications.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second. Brent Taylor seconded. All in favor? Motion carries. Next line item is we have 3 applications for SD classification. That's disabled veteran over 65. Staff's recommend approval.
Motion to approve 3 SD disabled veterans over 65.
Got a motion on the floor to approve 3 SD.
I second.
Got a motion second by Brent Davis. All in favor? Motion carries. All right, this, we've got 2 applications to continue FLPA.
Forest land conservation.
That's forest land. That's that growing timber. You have to be in the timber business. At least half of that property tract has to be growing timber. And all this is timber tracts. You subsequently acquire them, and then once these covenants run out, you combine them.
So meeting the criteria to continue the FLPA for these two applications. Staff recommends approval. Can I entertain a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Got a motion on the floor to approve the two FLPA apps? Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. Well, thank gosh, we have nothing under personal property.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now we go into a executive session. Chief Appraiser requests adjournment to executive session for consultation with the county attorney or other legal counsel to discuss pending or potential litigation settlement, claims, administrative proceedings, or other judicial actions brought or to be brought by or against the county or any officer or employee, or in which the county or any officer or employee may be directly involved as provided by OCGA 50-14-20 subsection 1.
Motion to exit regular session and enter executive session.
Got a motion to exit regular scheduled session to enter executive session. We need to go in.
I second.
Got a motion to go in. It's motion and a second. All in favor? Okay, we are doomed for executive session.
The second floor is down.